Welcome learners to this course for creating mobile apps using Flutter. Flutter is your gateway to create mobile app and that has been developed by Google. Well, it has a huge community of developers and has got a lot of plugins that can make your app ideas to come to reality. In this entire course, I'm going to feature ground up methodology which can take care even if you are an absolute beginner for programming. Well, you got to have a zeal and you have to convert your app idea to reality, and for that I can help you from developing from small basic Flutter projects to even a bit complex ones. What I have done is segregated this entire course into different modules. I'm going to have each module which will increase your knowledge and your grip on Flutter framework. Starting with the first module, we're going to talk about very basics. Well, that's very obvious to understand the basics and get a good hands-on experience, wherein in this particular video, I'm going to talk about the features of Flutter, wherein you'll understand how this beautiful framework came into existence in 2017, got a traction from many companies, and in fact, now you have major payment apps being created on Flutter. Well, that's the beauty, as because the apps are not only good to look, they're well performant and have security. That comes with a lot of implications that the Flutter team has put in order to have the framework built from scratch, and that too in such a less time has got so very much popularity in the world. I hardly see any company to not move to the Flutter tech stack. Take benefit of this particular advantage that you can have a knowledge that a framework that can give you multiple apps and then from the single code base. Get onto the journey wherein you'll be understanding how this mobile app framework can do wonders. Stay tuned into the session. Let's dive into our course, creating mobile apps using Flutter. I'm going to show to you how using the Flutter framework and Dart programming you can create your perfect mobile app. I'm Somin. I hold a 10-year experience into mobile app and I come from the Flutter developer and Kotlin developer background. I have my apps on insurance, healthcare and mostly the fintech industry. Talking about the features for Flutter, I have the number one to be cost effectiveness. Well, each company wants to have their employee strength to be effective and want to reduce their expenses in terms of employee salaries, which comes to all those four benefits which I've highlighted in this slide. You can have one developer to create an app with reduced efforts. That's because your app, which has a blue color button on Android, did not have a pink color button on iOS. Then you can have one single code base, that is on Flutter, which can create the blue color button on both the environments. With this comes the ease of deploying, as you can have your app to get deployed even on Android Play Store and iOS App Store at one single point in time. This significantly reduces the company's efforts in marketing. When it comes to cross-platform, it's not just Flutter which is there in the market. A heavy competitor for Flutter is React Native. Let me highlight these differences with the help of a small example. Now over here, what I have done is written down what Flutter can do on the left side and what React Native can do on the right side. When it comes to Flutter, it uses the Dart programming. What is Dart? Well, it's kind of a framework, or in fact a programming language very similar to Java. In fact, most of the syntaxes you are going to feel exactly like to be Java. Now, on the other hand, React Native uses JavaScript. When it comes to Flutter, look at the different technologies which it can cover. iOS and Android, that serves the mobile. Windows, macOS, Linux, that serves the desktop. Browsers and Xbox, they serve even the gaming. Repeat, browsers and Xbox, which kind of
even supports the game engines. Hence, Flutter practically can cover any kind of a front end. React Native, on the other hand, has got implementations only on the mobile. When it comes to the introduction to Flutter, what I can say is it's the framework which is developed by Google, and Android being the operating system, it is well optimized for the Android operating system. Do I say that it's only suitable to Android and not for iOS? Well, no. Later on, as the Flutter team advanced, presently when I'm recording this video, I have the Flutter 3.3 in the market, and I can say to you that it is as good as a native app performance that Flutter gives. That's because everything that gets compiled into Flutter environment gets translated into native binary. What's a binary? Let's say when you were in school, your teachers used to say that a machine understands binary language. Flutter on every platform creates a binary according to the platform. For example, imagine if it's running on Android, it is going to create .apk. Imagine if it is running on a Windows desktop, it will create a .exe. What are these? These are output files on which one operating system can understand this file and run it. Flutter has got a beauty, and it can cater to any kind of an operating system. That's the beauty which comes as an Flutter framework, and in fact a lot of engineering that the team has put in order to enhance this framework. So when it is going to be a case that you should not use Flutter, and that gives me the comparison between native app and cross-platform. Let's say you're trying to use an app and it has got a use case similar to Snapchat. So Snapchat is a well-known app that uses your camera, and it has got something known as OpenCV, that is your image processing filters or image processing libraries that can help you put all those filters on your photos. Well, in that case, you're purely dealing with native components, that's your camera. Let's say another example wherein you're trying to create an app like your GPS, like Google Maps, wherein each and every second you want to go to the GPS of your device and ask for a new value. In that case, if you try to create an app on Flutter, it might be sluggish. It's not only Flutter, if you go for any cross-platform, it is going to be sluggish. Hence, if anything that you would try to do that is purely on hardwares, I would highly recommend you to switch to the right side, wherein you create your app only on Kotlin or only on Objective-C. That's because you're going to get the optimal performance from the hardware. On the other hand, when you should switch for Flutter, imagine a company like Amazon or even Hoping Minds. You'll understand that we have the exact same app and there is no performance differences on Android and iOS. We use the exact same code to show to our users our list of products, our courses, and view them on the app. In this way, we don't want to have the app getting created twice, and we are kind of saving resources on having a single developer. That's exactly the benefit which Flutter gives, and that is a personal favorite which makes it so popular on Google Pay, Google Drive, and most of the Google products that has been, you can say, moved to Flutter. Next is the Gradle. This is where the magic happens. Gradle is the environment or the build system. Let's say, what is JVM? Did you answer Java Virtual Machine? Well, Java sits on one particular operating system and it builds the code for that operating system. Hence, in your universities, you would have surely heard about Java being platform independent. That's the JVM which makes the platform independence for the Java. On same grounds, what Flutter team has got is Gradle. You'll see this Gradle to come into picture on every session from now onwards. That's because I'm going to show to you in each every session how your code will get compiled and run onto your mobile app.
The entire introduction was helping you to understand with the Flutter advantages. In the next session, I'm going to talk about how you can get started with the programming for Dart. Well, it is going to be the only framework or only programming language that will be used entire in the course. You have to have a good experience and good knowledge about the framework in order to get acquainted with Flutter. Stay tuned and keep learning with Hoping Minds.